Right, give me a second, guys. Be with you in a moment. So, over the last about a week, I suppose, I've been doing different parts of Mitcham Common, and today I thought I'd just share with you guys a little bit of information regarding the last part of Mitcham Common I went to. Just give me a second. I'm actually trying to find some information regarding how old Mitcham Common is. Last bit of information I found regarding the age of it was about 150 years old. I'm pretty sure it's older than that. So I'm just going to try to Google, which I should have done earlier instead of watching a bit of TV or old news. Right, well, it states here, Mitcham Common is 182 hectares, which is 460 acres of common land, situated in South London. It's got parts straddling the borders of Croydon and Sutton. It has a site of metropolitan importance for nature conservatives. Buildings, right, there are a few buildings on the common. The buildings comprise a windmill trading estate, have existed in one or more form or another since 1782, when the estates were established as a workhouse for the poor. Companies to have utilised the buildings include Hooper's Telegraph Works. Recently, the estate has been replaced by a mixed standard of housing apartments, the Mill House Ecology Centre, and Harvester, formerly the Mill House Pub. So, I don't know how old the common is. It says like, I did find a page where it said like 180 or 150 years old. Okay. Now, I've actually just been recently doing a little bit of metal detecting over here. There has actually been quite a few deaths over there as well, actually. I've been a paranormal investigator as well as my main hobby. I have been over there and done some paranormal investigations, and would you believe we have had some very unusual activity over there. One being of the little boy Leonard, who died in the 1930s, who went over to the Seven Islands Lake with his mum and friends. Him and his friends decided to try and swim over the lake, but poor Leonard got caught and trapped, got dragged under. His mates tried yelling out to get some help. There was a boat on the lake at the time. It used to be an old, I think in like the early Victorian times, it was like a little boat on the lake as well. And there was a boat on the lake, and they called a guy over, and he actually went to the location where Leonard was, and he had one of those long boating hooks. He tried finding where Leonard was, and while he was actually looking, someone had called the ambulance, and the boating guy did actually find Leonard about 10 minutes later, pulled him up, dragged him to shore. The ambulance took him to hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival. So that, Mitcham Common, which to me is really weird. I know this ain't meant to be like the paranormal, but there's been quite a few deaths on there. either an accidental drowning, people hang themselves. The more recent one was someone who actually committed suicide by taking overdose, yeah. And I've caught activity over there quite a lot, over the last couple of years. Now, I started doing a little bit of metal detecting over there, yeah. And the more recent find was, apart from a couple of musket balls, a button, which I found yesterday, still with the actual original shank on it. Now, I've only just found out today by doing Google that that button is military. It's got, I think, a lion on one side, a horse on the other side, and a crest of light, one of those kind of like shields. I'll go back on my Facebook. Now, it's definitely a military button. Who was it? Someone commented to my actual video, which I did do on Facebook, and I put a load of photos up. Trying to think who it was. Can't remember who it was. Someone called Colin, I think his name was. But he's actually mentioned that, yeah, that's definitely a military button. And like, during World War II, Mitcham was actually obliterated by the German bombs, yeah. But we did have a gunnery on the common. If I can find a better picture. Actually, I won't click on that one. I'll have to bring the screen round. But this is what part of Mitcham Common was like in the 1940s. All right, let's go. Oh, hang on. This is a part of Mitcham Common. Now, there were houses around here at the time. And there are still houses further back, actually, especially on the main road. Now, there's a little boy there, actually. Why is a boy standing there on the common? Well, anyway, the thing being is that the reason I'm doing this because it is like historical, and I was quite pleased to find this first ever button. I have found like musket balls as well, and spent cartridges, which might have been from a rifle. Because like when the aeroplanes were coming down, although like the guns were shooting, I suppose like you had soldiers shooting down, like trying to shoot down any kind of like Messerschmitts, German aircraft as well. Now the common actually was housed to like these gunnery stations, yeah, and they must have bunkers as well. But in the late 50s, I think it was, 1963, picture reference Mr. War 53 photo. It says, notes history. The World War II gun site on Mitcham Common were not demolished until the 1960s. People had become annoyed by the presence and the fact that they were used as dumping sites. The newspapers at the time, 1963, had a lot of articles about the delay in demolition. So the actual gunnery site was demolished, knocked down in the like 1960s, late 1960s. And I think, as I was being knocked down, a lot of people were actually using them as a dumping site as well. which is a shame. I'm kind of like wish that they actually kept those up, because it would have been like historical and people could have gone and like, you know, visit them. Because like the thing is, there's not a lot of historical sites around nowadays. You know, they keep getting knocked down and bloody replaced with like new commercial, you know, buildings, or you know, residential houses, estates, and stuff like that. Now, it did state that on another one. What one was it? Hmm. The site of the Carl Shorten Road to the south of Mitcham housed anti-aircraft guns. Gun sites were part of the defensive measures that included trenches in open areas to prevent the landing of enemy aircraft, and dragon teeth, which is those big kind of like concrete structures, um, a system of concreted barriers to prevent movement of enemy tanks. So, were they expecting, like, you know, enemy aircraft to like land and deploy tanks in Mitcham? Well, they must have done, because like, they, you know, you put these great big gunneries, you know, these anti-aircraft and Tiger tank, well, not Tiger tanks, but anti-tank um, mines and teeth and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure they're thinking, well, you know, we got to like really make this safe for the people around Surrey area, I suppose. You know, we weren't just being bombed in Surrey, and you know, it's been bombed all over London and the UK. But you know, the thing is with stuff like this now, you know, as I say, they are being like knocked down, and we ain't getting as much as this. We're not actually seeing anything, you know, from the past nowadays, because we always being built on the bloody thing. Is that? That's right. I was looking for a map actually of the old Mitcham Common, but I can't find one. Um, Still keep like doing Google searches at the moment, trying to find more stuff on Mitcham. That's an interesting place. That's the old Mitcham station. Now, you know, I've been over Mitcham, you know, quite a few times, looking for like a place I could milk detect. Um, but this particular part of Mitcham Common, where the gunnery site used to be, is just like full of iron. You know, every time I was getting hits, I was digging down, you know, about 8 inches, 10 inches, and you could see like this flat piece of iron. And you think it's only going to be a small piece, but no, it is, you know, very big, very, very big. And I wasn't going to start, you know, spending half an hour trying to dig out one piece of like metal object, because it could like have been a part of the actual gunnery emplacement. It could have been a fucking bonfire, no, you know. I'm not going to sit there like digging up half the bloody Mitch and find out it's a bloody like bomb from the German World War II, you know, thing, and like having them run and find, you know, phone the police up and say, hey, I think I just found a bomb from World War II. I think what should be left alone, to be honest with you, you know, like, I'm not going to be doing the gunnery part anymore. This button I found over a different part of the common, but they must have actually been crossing certain parts of common to get to the gunnery to actually, you know, perform their duties. This was a part of common a bit further down, because what they've done is they split the common up to about 4 or 5 parts now. So where the Seven Islands is, if you go past there and jump on the 463 near Common Side East, I think it is, that takes you up towards Bemington Lane, and you just keep going up there until the tram stop, and then I think it's on the other side of the road. I can't be sure what side of the road it is now, left or right, but that's where you can find the gunnery. The you know, there's a lot of open field there as well. But the gunnery site, you know, you could tell that there must have been structures because, like, usually with housing and like buildings, you know, trees tend to grow around them or on top of them, and you could tell how uneven the ground was as well. It's not flat. And every time I went over with a metal detector, you know, it was getting crazy. It's all the time. Um, but they must have used it, you know, the commons hundreds of years ago as well for, like, you know, highwaymen. Maybe the Cleveland used it for some kind of like civil war. Like, you know, I know the Americans had like civil war, but we must have had something similar to that. Because why would I be finding musket balls everywhere? And I found about 15 musket balls over the last week. 8 in one location, 6 in another. Then I went back to the other location where I found 8, and I found a couple more there. I also found some King George coins. This is just one of them, which I've not put away yet. I don't know if you can actually see the head on this, but that is the actual King George. I know you can't really see it. I don't know if you can see. I'll put a torch onto it. There we go. That's about King George. And the date on that, what I've read is, I don't know if you can see that, but it says 1917. I think, well, it could be 1817. But he's actually got a picture of the old Queen Victoria. That looks a bit better like that, actually. You make more details like that. That's crazy. With my own eye, you know, with my eye physically, I can't see shit on that coin. But when you put a torch to it, it's kind of like brings up all the detail, which is mega. I didn't think about doing that. So in future, if I have to take pictures, which I want to do, I'm going to be like pointing a torch to it. I've actually opened a metal detecting page on my Facebook as well now. So if you've got my Facebook, just go to my main Facebook and you'll see a link where you can actually go to my Facebook metal detecting page. But, you know, if that common is over 150 years old, what used to be on the common before then? Was it open land? Was it farmland? I don't know. Trying to find out some of the information is bloody hard to find out, you know, and sometimes you've got to, like, you know, pay good money to go and find like land records, deeds and stuff like that. Now I know a certain amount of land around here is owned by the bloody council, but I did speak to the council the other day, and it gave me one or two like little hints what to do and what not to do. So plus he said that his brother's actually started detecting, funny enough, and he's going to get his brother to send me an email on a metal detecting club in and around the Surrey area. But I've actually signed up to a site called, what's it called? It ain't free. It's called, well, I'll get onto the bloody phone. Archie, A-R-C-H-I, Archie Digger. And that gives you a database of over 200,000 places throughout the UK where people have found stuff. And it's kind of unusual that a lot of stuff was found over near Bebington, which is just one bus ride to me. I tried to get over to the sewer works, but I couldn't get access to it because, like, there weren't no one at the gate, for one thing, and two, I didn't know the code to like press whatever button to get in, you know, get to speak to someone. I did speak to someone before. I actually found out where the waterworks is, and he said that he believes it's run by Thames Water. So I'm going to try to ring up Thames Water, see if I can speak to someone there and ask him if I can get permissions to actually detect on there. Because over at Bemington, there's been quite a lot of finds. There's been Roman pottery, there's been Roman coins, there's been signs of Roman huts, like soldier huts, barracks, a Roman villa, a Roman bathhouse, and a few other things, yeah. But it's more all over near the actual waterworks, and all the waterworks kind of like fenced off. Now there is a back entrance which I did find, which if I was willing to get stung by sting nettles by 1,000 times and getting pricked by all these prickles, I could have got on the back way, but it did have a sign: no trespassing, no CCTV cameras, but I didn't see no CCTV cameras. And the back entrance quite far, I don't think anyone will see me for the window, but I don't want to be breaking the law. That's why I said to the guy, he goes, well, the only way you're doing it's like talking to Thames Water, which I almost probably might do, give them a ring and see if I can get some kind of permission to go on there, because that's where all the Roman fines are. But where the waterworks is, there's some other fields there, which are kind of like on property, such as like the new Asda. They've got like a little bit of Greenland around there, shopping centre. There's like a motor track kind of place there as well, where people go around night, with their little dirt bikes and quad cars and that kind of stuff. There's some Greenland around the area, so I'm kind of trying to find a way getting that way and asking permission to go on there. So I don't think that's council land. But I did get an email today from the Archie forum group, who has the 200,000 listings. I said, look, around here it's kind of hard trying to get permissions because most of the land, not all of it, but most of the land's run by the council. And when I spoke to the council, he said, well, no, not really. But, he kind of hinted, if you do go, just be careful you don't get caught, kind of thing. So he's not saying, no. He's saying it's not really advisable, but, if you do go, you just got to be careful, because if you do get caught, you might be arrested and, you might have your gear confiscated. He goes, the only way to stop that is just say, like, you've only just started, you didn't know the rules and regulations, and that's it, kind of thing. They'd probably just give you a warning. So the guy was kind of like being a little bit helpful in one way. I did ring up Wandsworth, but they kind of like, well, I didn't ring them up. I emailed them. They said, sorry, but we can't allow anyone to detect on any of our commons or parks because of the bylaws. We got to consider everyone's like being happy, like, walking their dog, just like generally walking around, the habitat, the location as well. So that was a bit of a bummer. But I have spoken to the guy who has actually given me permission of magnet fishing on his commons, because he actually runs the commons himself. But when I asked him about milk detecting, he said, well, that I can't say yes or no to. I had to contact someone else regarding milk detecting, because like years ago, people did do milk detecting, but they never covered their holes up, and they kind of like left them open, and people was walking along and tripped and damaged their legs or seriously injured themselves. So we're not really allowing milk detectors to do milk detecting. But because I know you and you've always cleared up your mess and helped to keep the lakes a bit more cleaner, I will kind of like, contact his boss and ask him if it's possible. Now, I was supposed to ring him today or yesterday, but I've completely forgot about it. So tomorrow I'm going to ring him up and find out what the situation is. And hopefully, please God, that I might get permission there. I told him, well, I'm not going to do the whole of the commons because, like, it is bloody massive. I said, what I want to do is where they do the fun fair and maybe the wooded part. And the wooded part, the wooded area, it's only a small area. You can walk through it within like 2 minutes. But if you're milk detecting, you want to try to like, find out exactly what might be in it. It could take a couple of hours, even more. But the place where they have the actual fun fairs is quite kind of big, and it'd probably take a couple of days, doing that. But that's the only two parts I told him I'm interested in at the moment. And maybe if he allows me to do those two parts, and you see that I'm not making a hell of a mess and I'm clearing up and I'm always covering my holes up, you might consider letting me doing other parts of the common during a weekday, not weekend, because there's going to be too many people there at weekend. So I'm hoping I can get to do that. But the guy on the Archie Dig site, I don't know if you see that. Can you see that? I can't see myself actually. That's the group I joined to. It wasn't. It's kind of free to look around, but if you want to get like the locations where Roman coins and stuff like that, and find out roughly where it is on the map, you have to pay for it, which I had to. But I told him like some of these locations are old, and new things have been built onto them, like shopping centres, residentials, and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard for me to find permissions. So I said, is there any chance you can find some permissions for me in my area so I can just go there and dig to my heart content, kind of thing. And, he did email me back. He goes, I apologise not for getting back to you. And hello, digging Cold Hello. Do you know any good places in Cold to dig? As I was just saying, the Mitcham Common is good, but it's under, most of it's under council land. You ain't supposed to like really dig on it. But the guy at the council said to me, you don't start making too much of a mess and not you cover your holes up. I can't see there's too much of a problem. You just have to like be careful and not cause any problems with the actual public. Right, I've actually subscribed to you. Oh, sorry, it's digging Colston. I thought it said Colston. Sorry about that. I thought, hey, I've got someone near me in Surrey. No, you're in America. Oh, fuck, I thought you was here near me. I thought, yeah, let's go to do some digging, mate, but you're in America. I'm here in the UK. I can't afford to come to America to do some digging. So, yeah, the thing is, I'm waiting for the guy from the council to contact his brother and his brother to contact me and give me an email saying what clubs they go to. I'm waiting I need to contact my mate who runs another common where I do magnet fishing. So that's 2. Yeah, that's 2, I think. The Archie Dig is 1. Remaining, what's the name, 2? No, 3 people I'm waiting to contact actually at the moment. And hopefully 3 people might give me ways of getting permission or telling me, yeah, you can go and get it, go and dig there, and I'll have permission straight away. There is a thing on Archie where you can download a page, like a contract between, the person who owns the land and the actual metal detectorist. And if the landowner wants a percentage of what you might find, then you can either give them the percentage of the items you find or the percentage on the items you may sell. But I don't sell my stuff. Anything I find I want to keep. And I'll say that to them, I'll say if I can get a value of that button and it's worth £20, I'll give you £5 or something, because I don't want to be selling my stuff. It's all history. And the problem with it here in the UK is that we don't have a lot of history because we've always fucking knocking it down and building on top of the damn thing, Although 2,000 or 200,000 items have been listed on this database, probably maybe more in other groups, kind of thing. It could be 100,000, 100 million, kind of thing. You just don't know. You've got to keep researching and looking for these clubs, and every time you join a club, you've got to pay this and pay that. And I've actually just opened a subscription for the metal detecting magazine, which isn't cheap. I can do it monthly, quarterly, or yearly. So I've just done it monthly at the moment. So I've just gone. I've not actually read the whole book. It's a magazine. It's got 100 pages in it. And I'll say about 15% of that is advertisements of people doing selling metal detecting gear. So I kind of ignore that, but I tried looking at, the finds, because there's some really interesting finds there. There's like stuff from Saxon, Norman times, Viking times. There's even stuff which people found like from the early prehistoric times, kind of thing. Even up to the modern day, Victorian. And they found some really interesting stuff. Now, I do watch a lot of YouTube channels as well, such as like Digging Carlston. I can't remember that, is it? Charleston. Digging Charleston. I've been watching these videos, yeah. And I've been watching a lot of other people's videos. Now, the thing is, they get kind of excited when they find a George coin, kind of thing. Because, like, as I said before in other streams, I'm not being funny, we kind of helped America in one way, the British, because, we were one of the first white settlements over there. And then, like, as we kind of, like, went over there and lived over there, I suppose, like, a part of us become Americans, kind of thing. And what makes me laugh is that when they find a George coin, some of them, not all of them, when they find a George coin, they go crazy. George coin, my God, a George coin, Is it George III, second, third, fourth, and they go absolutely crazy. But over here, because we actually made these coins, it's so common for us to find them. Some people just say, oh, not another George coin and throw it in the bag, kind of thing. But you Americans, my God, the George coin, Victorian Queen, yeah, it's great, lovely. And like, I know they find a lot of buttons. And I like the way they say buttons. They say button or buttons or button. Button, buttons or button. Kind of weird that the way they say buttons, but they find a lot more buttons. And some of those buttons are bloody crazy. We don't get those over here than they do. Those big kind of like buttons about that size. I can't remember what they're called, but they come out more kind of like greenish than anything else. And sometimes they have like an imprint on them. Sometimes they come out just completely green. I'd love to be in America too, man. If I could sell out and move to America, I'd go over there because, like, there's so much stuff in America, that you would find, especially I'd love to find some Civil War stuff. Really would. Before I got interested in magnetic fishing and the metal detecting again, I did buy a couple of bits off Amazon. Well, not Amazon, eBay. I always wanted like a Civil War button. Not Civil War button, Civil War round ball, as Aqua Chica would say it. Like this. I've got a couple of other ones in here somewhere, but they're too far down the bag. I bought 5, including like this really splattered up one. I bought 5 off eBay about mid last year. That's another one here. And I love watching Aqua Trigger because he finds shitloads of these buttons. I keep saying buttons, bullets. Now, the other day, I found my own one. I find my own Civil War / bullet. It's actually got the 3 grooves in it. So what one that is, I do not know. But it looks like that we use these over here as well as like the Americans used them. I suppose every country used them, to be honest with you, but I was fucking like over the moon to find that. If I had to say what one out the button or the bullet, I wouldn't like to choose actually because they're both mega to me. Both piece of history. Hundreds of years old. Kind of thing. I'm not saying about the musket balls. I've got about 4 different size musket balls. I'm over the moon of finding these, and within a week, I found at least 18 to 20 musket balls. Just crazy. And I think the musket balls were overused during, like, the war, between England and Scotland and Wales. It's a bit like our Civil War to the American Civil War kind of thing, Also, like, possibly they could have been used in the early Victorian times when the old highwaymen used to like roam around, because I know Mitcham Common again is a part of the known area where Dick Turpin, the famous highwayman, used to come past. He used to come from like Biggin Hill down to, what's that other place? There's a place I want to go to, but I can't remember what it's called. It's over near London, but he came from all the way over London area, come through down here, all the way down to Kent. You know, he travelled a lot of mileage, you know, on his horseback. How many horses he probably used, I do not know, but, you know, he held up a lot of people. And he always used to stay at a lot of taverns as well. And people who were in the paranormal always used to say, like, oh, Dick Turpin used to live here. And they believe like they might have had some kind of like paranormal experience on that Dick Turpin. But there used to be other like kind of like highwaymen as well. Famous ones I don't know, but Dick Turpin was the most famous one that used to come around this area as well. You know, from London down to here, down to Coleshill and Hatbridge, all the way down to Kent. And like, you know, it's kind of amazing that, I'm not saying he ever has, but for, you know, one of those musket balls could have belonged to Dick Turpin, for all I know. You know, unless I got some kind of like background story and evidence, I can't say, yeah, that, you know, musket ball belonged to Dick Turpin, because like there's probably thousands of like highwaymen in this area. Now, you know, going back to the paranormal, over in Mitcham Common, there was a tree there, and I've always felt that that could have been a hangman's tree for like highwaymen. And when I asked a question over there one particular day, and I had my UEP recorder, I said, is this tree used as like a hanging tree for highwaymen? I got a reply saying, yes, highwaymen hung, which was kind of, well, you know, on that EVP recording, no one around. I just asked the question. I was quiet for about 30 seconds, and I got an EVP saying, yes, highwaymen hung. So maybe they're saying that tree was a highwayman's hangman tree. So, but I've always kind of like wondered how many people got killed by musket balls or round balls or, you know, whatever kind of like bullets they were made from, like the 16th up to like the 19th century. And, you know, how many of these could hold that kind of energy from either the person who made it or the person who got killed with it, you know, kind of thing. Because I have seen Haunted Collector do an episode where a person had found one of these in their garden. They took it indoors, and all spiritual activity like occurred, you know, poltergeist activity and stuff like that, until they called the guy down, and he said, where's the bullet? And they said, well, they reburied it. So they had to get a metal detector to find the bullet. When they eventually did find the bullet, they done some kind of prayers on it. They took the bullet away from the actual landowner, and all paranormal stopped. So, you know, that's why I like finding artifacts like this, because you do not know what might be attached to it spiritually wise, if any. So, kind of crazy. You know, I didn't find this metal detecting, but, you know, I found that magnet fishing. That is a 19th century. It's either a Ganager or Dillinger, and it's one of them pocket guns I used to put in their top pocket or the waistcoat pocket. And a lot of like gamblers used to use them, because like if they won a fair amount on gambling, they was always concerned that, you know, someone might find out and they'd probably get robbed. So they always carried like these little guns around. I found this in River Wandle magnet fishing, and people said, "Oh, like, you know, that's a cap gun." No, it's not a cap gun. And I can't be done with this because this is like classed as an antique. It's old, and, you know, the barrel's missing, part of the handle's missing, you know, kind of thing. You cannot pull this like trigger back. You know, it's just fucked. You know, there's no way this could actually be in any way put back together. Yeah, it's not going to be possible. So that's more of a show item than anything else, yeah. But it does still have a little bit of the handle on this side, while it's completely missing on that side. Now, I'd love to find something like this metal detecting. People have found things like this metal detecting. They found swords, knives, sabers. They found guns, grenades, mortars, even bombs. You know, all kind of things metal detecting. So, metal detecting a bit like magnet fishing. You don't know what you're going to find. A metal detector finds a lot more stuff than the magnet does. A magnet cannot find gold, silver, and platinum. It won't attach itself to that. But with a metal detector, you know, you'll be surprised on what you can find. There we go. Here comes the trolls. So yeah, like, you know, I'll be happy to find anything. I'm happy to find anything actually. So I don't like finding like big chunks of iron steel. You know, when it hasn't got really much purpose to it. Well, you know, even big chunks of iron, it must have some kind of story attached to it. What was it made for? What was it for? No, was it a part of a building? Was it some kind of part of a mechanical engineering or what, you know, kind of thing? Like, I found this weird thing yesterday. I don't know what the hell it is. You know, when I started digging it out, there's like a point on it. I thought, my God, you know, that looks like a point probably to a fucking bomb. But I still carried on, you know, kind of digging it out. And I thought, well, if I'm going to blow up, I'm going to blow up. And I just yanked it out. And it had this really weird kind of like, it's like a nozzle. And there's kind of handle thing at the top. I didn't bring it home. I just threw it to one side, you know, so no one can like find it or like trip over it. But I know where it is. And if anyone sees the video of yesterday and I know what it is, let me know. And if it's like something special, then I can go back and get it because I know where I put it. But I wasn't going to bring too much heavy stuff with me back yesterday because my backpack was heavy enough as it was. And, you know, I'd only been in a couple of hours and I'd practically drunk 4 bottles of water. And I'd already started running out of drink as well. And it's so hot yesterday, it's unbelievable. So I had to come home earlier. But, you know, I found this button, as I say, and I'm fucking happy I found that. King George coins, you know, as I say, like, it's good to find them, but I'd rather find a button than a George. Or, you know, find something else like more cannonball. Well, I'd love to find a cannonball, you know, a complete cannonball. I saw someone selling a part of a cannonball for like £500 on something or something like that on eBay. And it's only on like I think it's like 3 or 4 parts of a cannonball. So it's not a complete one. So like, I think a cannonball would bring a lot of money, but I would sell it. If I found one, I'd somehow try to like display it somehow. I'm going to try to find something to display some of my musket balls as well. I did buy a little book thing to put my coins in, but in this mess, I can't even bloody remember what I've done with them. I'm not going to do like some people do, put them in, categorise them, you know, write down exactly. Yeah, I probably might start doing that. Say like, you know, location, time, what I found, and roughly how deep it was. I might start doing that because I don't see a lot of people doing that actually, and it'd be interesting to actually do that because someone might say, "Well, where did you find that?" Oh, well, I found that at like Norton Abbey or somewhere. Oh, what time? Oh, it was on like Wednesday afternoon, you know, 4 p.m. I found it like 6 inches down, you know, and I was using whatever metal detector at the time. That's interesting, right, and like let people know. But you don't want to write down too much information like the location and where it was, because like, you know, if you got permission for it, those people, if they know exactly where you've been finding some really interesting stuff, they might go and try to steal your permission. It's not too bad if you're actually going to like share permissions and share your finds. But you know, you got to be careful when you're getting permissions to, I suppose. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, if you've got controls in 14 down, it don't bother me because like it's 14 thumbs down, 14 fuse. That's great. Thanks very much. Love you too. But as I said, I can always remove those. And now they're gone. Thank you. Goodbye. So with trolls, guys, you know, I apologise about the trolls. You can't really take much notice of the trolls. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like to watch that actually. What size of a cannonball is it? Because you know, it's like musket balls. They done different caliber, didn't they? What I might start doing is watching some underwater metal detecting as well. I can't swim. No, if I jump in the river, I'm going to drown. You know, I'm just going to go straight under like a fucking rock or stone or something. You know, I ain't going to come back up. So there ain't going to be many times I'm going to be doing metal detecting the rivers unless the rivers are really like shallow. You know, what do I say, about a foot deep or something. You know, if that, you know, there's no way I'm going to go doing like Nuggeton or whatever his name is, in America, where he goes like in the rivers and he goes under, he finds mobile phones, purses, coins, musket balls, he finds Indian head arrows and, you know, shitloads of stuff. You know, I'm just like envy with you Americans. You get so much find, you know. Not saying that we don't, you know, I suppose like Britain has its own kind of like amounts of finding stuff, yeah, but America, crazy over there. So many people like digging and finding so many interesting things. It's just crazy ass. No, you're lucky, guys, you know, because you're not stripping all the land down and like renovating, putting like new complexes up and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But mind you, we are only a little island. You know, America's probably about fucking 20 size bigger than the UK, you know, kind of thing. So you have got a lot of land you can actually go metal detecting on. I've been watching some of the Canadian. Oh, hang on. I've been watching some of the Canadian and the Alaskan diggers out there as well. There's not many of those around. There's more American than Canadian, which is surprising. But you know, I envy you guys because you find a lot of stuff out there, and I mean a lot of stuff. But yeah, I'll be interested in watching that. 12-pounder. I just have a look at how big a 12-pounder is. Let's have a look. 12-pound. What's this cannonball tier for a modern car? There's one here, Confederate. Solid shot Confederate cannonball recovered about 40 years after from private property in the Battle of Franklin. Bring the camera over. So that's a 12. I don't know, see that on. So that's a 12-pounder. Now I suppose that's the actual armour. That's 12 pound with a Borman fuse in it. Have you found one like that with the actual fuse still in, or have you found one without the fuse? So that's one there without the fuse. Like so. And if you find one of those here in the UK, and it's still got a fuse in it, that still classes are like dangerous to even like find and take home with you because it still could like and somehow explode. So See, like with the bullets, like this kind of stuff, we're okay with those. You know, like these we can all keep. But if you find anything more modern, so I like to find some more of these, as Akchik would say, round balls and ringtails and whatever. If you found like more modern bullets like these, we got to hand them in. Especially these ones down here. I found one similar to this one here, the middle one, and I had to ring up the local authorities for them to come and collect it and take a statement off me where I found it, because like my trolls out there threatened to like report me, and that could cause some serious shit with me, to be honest with you. So I was going to actually report it anyway, and they took the actual bullet, and they actually took a casing of a bullet that I found, which didn't even look like a bullet. It's a casing of some kind, but it didn't look like a proper bullet thing. But they still took it to be on the safe side. Wow, I'll have to watch that, yeah. Definitely be watching that. Don't listen to the trolls out there, especially Guy Fawkes. He's out there to cause a lot of shit. I'm trying to get him off YouTube, but it's not working. They will leave me alone, because I am getting more and more information on that guy as well, and I will be handing it to the authorities very soon. And there's a thing I'm lying, because I've proved myself so many fucking times towards these trolls. So yeah, one not too long, shan't be too long. He's probably going to get a phone call and knock on the door, and probably be cautioned to leave me alone, just like the other troll did last time. You know, they come on trying to disrupt my channel as well, and you know, I'm not worried about them, because my moderators just like to sort them out and kick your ass. So yeah, I ain't worried about them. You know, I've got 3 or 4 moderators. I've got like Paranormal Fan. I've got my nephew Aaron. Oh, actually, Albert's here. Albert's now moderator on here. Ian's been one of my moderators for God knows how long. Not just on this channel, but on my paranormal channel. Yeah. So anyway, that's the info on Mission Common. It was used. A part of it did have a gunnery on there during World War II, and then like in the early 50s, 60s, no, in the mid 60s, they actually kind of and Susan here, hello Susan. In the mid 60s, they did actually knock the whole place down, because people were getting fed up with it being used as a general tip. So they demolitioned it around about the 60s, and then handed it back over to the council for the use of like wildlife and other stuff. And you know, it just kind of got grown over by the trees and the weeds and bushes and that kind of stuff. So you know, I'll probably go over there again sometime. I've got a few other places I'm going to go to. Where's that other place I want to be going to? See, where I do magnet fishing on one place where I've got permission by Ian, he's given me 2 other locations I'll go to. Herne Hill, I think it's Herne Hill. That is another place where I can go with permission. And again, Dick Turpin used to like have a hideout up that area. And if you go to the top of the hill, you can actually look all the way over London, and you can see, you know, like the London Eye and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to go over there sometime in the near future. When, I don't know yet, because I've still got a couple of places I want to do. there's a nice little place on the River Wandle I want to get to. I've only done like magnet fishing there twice, but this one has got a bit of land there, and it goes all the way back around near an industrial area, which I can get to. So I'll probably do some milk detecting around that area sometime too. Can't say what part of the River Wandle it is, because like the River Wandle runs 40 miles. And I'm not going to do 40 miles at the River Wandle, no way, but there are little bits and pieces I can like go and like milk detect without getting any problems. Or what I'll keep away from is the actual nature reservice and the lands which are like governed by the council, because the River Wandle isn't always like governed by the council. Some of it's on private land, and some of it's on just normal public land. So you know, I'm hoping to go there to a new location towards the end of the week, hopefully. I could even go there tomorrow if I wanted to, but I don't think I will. It all depends on the weather, actually. So it says Wednesday, light rain, all day up till 2 o'clock. Thursday, thundery storms. Friday, light rain. But gonna get more sunnier from midday on Friday. Saturday and Sunday I could do, because like the place where I found hardly anyone's go down that area, because I've done that on the weekend before magnet fishing, and I've not heard anyone go around that area, so I could try that area actually. But yeah, I'm going to short off, guys. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for jumping in, digging Charleston. Yeah, I'll watch your video later. Yeah, the cannonball one, and I'll comment on that one. If I do any more videos on interesting locations, I will do, because I want to try to do some, such as like tonight. You know, with not Clapham Common, Richmond Common. I might do one Clapham Common if I can get permission on that one, which I'm still waiting to hear on. River Wandle, if I do the River Wandle on permission on that one, I'll do one on that one. Any location I've got permission on, if I can find of anything of historic interest, I'll probably do a little video on it. So yeah, cheers for watching. Catch you later. Sorry about the you know, thank you, trolls. Love you dearly. Catch you later, guys. Bye for now.